Hey, how you doing? Welcome to my video. We're going to be making a lovely painting based on that. We already did, but you're going to see the whole thing unfold. I've got the palette there for you. I'm going to be talking about the colors we use and doing a bunch of cool stuff. So I hope you really enjoy it. And if you do, make sure you like the video, subscribe. I tip on over to my site, buy my book, or make a donation, or just enjoy the video. Anyway, I feel like I want something a little more booty for my, I'm going to use the DOS bristle filter. And our good friend, we are using Archival Oils brand. It's odorless, I think regular, it might be lean, might not. You generally want a little more for your underpainting. I'm not mixing anything in my my brown ochre. Maybe a little black actually. I think it will. Let's just give us a little more dimension. I don't want that extra red in this. Don't need it. Six by 8. I was going to do a different size, but this works pretty well because it's a little more squarish. So this size will allow me to do the. Yes. Will allow me to have the palette over here. You know. And the vertical's even better in a sense, but I've done two verticals, so I don't want the overall visual impression of the channel to be all samey. Okay, we have horizon line here. Board's been oiled out. Nice, let's get going. Oh, we're all zoomed in. Good. We're recording. We're recording. Everybody's getting recorded. My theory here is that I'll get better at this. You know, this recording the palette at the same time. Okay, so you're looking at the reference, and there on our left side, there's like 3 distinct masses. On the other mass, I think I'm gonna. Well, I think we'll start with this. I really like that tree, and I wanted to make sure to keep it. I actually had this sized as an 8 by 12. 6 by 8 would be coming in on the sides a bit. Here you can just find a way of holding the brush to give you the thickness you want. Obviously this other one was the whole width of the brush, but for the thinner trunks. Nice little wiggle. Maybe we just do the underpainting today. That might be a good plan. I got a bit of a headache. That's looking nice. I don't know about that other branch coming up there. I'll get to that. Yeah, I like that opened up a bit more. So this tree here, you're looking at the river. It's light. I'm not going to paint it light. Well, that's supposed to be horizon. Should be painted quite light. This is quite a bit like the last scene I painted. As if it's horizontal. The path through the woods into a clearing, and well, I just like these kind of scenes. Really looks like. Now, one thing I'm going to do different to reference, I decided not to change the reference completely, just so you can see how I'm modifying it. I'm getting rid of that grid now. I'm going to not have sky coming all the way up there, bringing in some foliage there. We don't need to worry too much about these hills as far as over here, because there'll be a bunch of other foliage and stuff there. So you don't want them too distinctive. I guess that'd be what I'd say. They're going to be like pretty much part of the sky, way less distinctive than the reference. Coming in a bit here. All right, so I was working with a student yesterday, and she's really quite talented, but not as familiar with, of course, landscape painting as I am. I mean, I've given her the guidance to change up her brush stroke, but she was doing this kind of thing. Don't do that. I just want to tell you not to do that. Don't do that. This is coming overboard. Don't do it. Change your brush, but never. Don't flop around hoping for magic to happen. That's an amateur move, and it doesn't use. Maybe sometimes it'll work. You're hoping it'll work, but you know, it usually won't. The tree, I'm gonna go pretty strong, a little stronger. And less bent. That's good. I like that. Much higher there. The slick surface will only make this kind of playful sort of. I don't know if I like those hills at all. I do like having a bit of a horizon there. Let's put it in more clean. I think maybe if we do hills, they need to be. Way better. Okay. Create your patterns. And then it's really up to a certain point, and I'm not saying it's a long time, but at some point it'll help you, I think. You really are more about reinforcing those patterns than trying to make everything correct from the reference. So the reference is just working and functioning as inspiration. Feeling my way with these hills, but I do sure like them better when they're small, I'll tell you that. Okay, so that gives us a lesson. Convex, usually better than concave. Landscape, that's good enough for now. A little something on one side, a little something on the other side. It's a little dark, but that's alright. Yeah, let's get a little experimental here. So, I tend to do this on the larger pieces anyway. I'm going to crumple this up. I'm going to look for kind of a good little that kind of thing. That's going to be our scrunchy brush. Go into the oil. this paint. What I like about doing this sort of thing is it breaks us out of brushstroke mode. We obviously bring the brushstrokes back. Brings in some organic stuff. This is real uniform, all my intervals here. I'm gonna have to fix that. Also, 4 isn't optimal. Who's gonna go? I guess it's you. It's more the it's the not the quantity so much as the intervals. If I make this a smaller trunk, it'll read as part of this. So that's giving me the kind of structure I want. And I think that tree could be bigger, thicker. One of these two. I think we'll go with this one. It's quite thick, but I've got the room. So if what you're getting here is like I'm interacting with the reference. It has definite resemblance to the reference, no question about that. But I'm doing my own thing. It's ended up kind of jitty. That's okay. Jitty's okay. I think our drawing's done. Let me pause this and then contemplate my next move here. Hello. Yeah, we're just running this camera. This will be our main camera there, and we're gonna do some pre-mixes of colors here. Yeah. So it's been a couple days. I got the drawing. The drawing's sitting there bone dry. I think we'll be getting into that this afternoon. So you can see the water is all blown out. Those hills are going to be way smaller. But we're going to just do a couple colors for the back there. Maybe I like that yellowish bit. Let's start with some of that Indian yellow. We're going to need to modify it with a bit of the rotten bill. White. And then that's too yellow, so we're going to balance that out a little with some of this white gray. That's ivory. That's quite nice. We'll go a little yellower now, only this time we're going to go with the yellow ochre. The last one was, well actually here I'll just run you through what we're doing. There'll be a list that comes up anyway, but that's titanium white, titanium buff. Titanium buff is what you get before they bleach out the titanium white, just so you know. Great color, very handy. It doesn't completely replace that bright white, but it goes a good way. Cad yellow, yellow ochre, that is Mars yellow. This is brown ochre. Let's draw it a little on the top there. That is Romber. That is Mike's green. It's a little on the dark side. Sometimes that happens in a mix, but if I had to counterbalance it, it'd just give me too much. So it's fine, it'll work. Cad orange. This is my mixing red. That is Winsor Newton Cad red hue, not real Cad red. That is some nice red iron oxide, aka burnt sienna. That's also from Winton. This is Mars Violet. I know it doesn't look very purple, but there it is. This is Rose Madder. That's from Rembrandt. That is Bernumber. It was just put there because it's always dry the next day. That was the color we used for underpainting. This is Perylene Black. I would say Perylene Black / green. This is Permanent Green Light. Also from Camblin. Not every brand's permanent green line is going to be workable. That's why I point that out. That's Diox Purple. Phthalo Blue. Not going to be much of a factor in this. Ivory Black, always a factor. And Mike's Gray, I just mixed that. That's a little on the lighter side than I care for. Now I'm going to bring in just a little more. I want two colors for my sky. I'm going to bring a bit of this. See, it has like a little bit of secret red in it that I do quite like that. But I'm going to use the tawniness of the yellow ochre to counterbalance it. See what I mean? So it seems like I have a lot of colors in my palette, but every color here is I can handle just about any landscape thing coming my way. The exception, of course, would be painting a field of really bright flowers or something. I could get a pretty good ways with this palette, but there'll always be applications where you might need to bring in some other colors or something. And I'll never forget, I'm a big fan of Stapleton Kern's blog. If you haven't checked it out, I've been sending people there for 10 years. And I was reading it 10, 15 years ago. But the great painting education there that I got from Stapleton. And on that blog, they had a poster. He's out painting, and and he's got his his set palette, and he's trying to hit a color, some flowers, and his friend says, "Well, why don't you just use the whatever quinacridine or whatever," and which he had, and his other bag was on his palette. He's like, "Yeah, I will. I'm going to get it." I'm going to hit the color of those flowers, right? But for the most part, this is, going to handle almost just about anything that comes up. Okay. Do a little bit lighter tone in the sky. Yeah, I had a student say, well, can't you just use that buff? So that's pretty much the color you're trying to mix. And yeah, she's right, but it doesn't have you need a certain amount of complexity in your colors for your paintings to come off. So, pretty close is not as good as, you can see that's going to have a big impact even though it's your cadmiums are very strong. I don't need a lot of this. Not a very big space, not a very big painting. Dark sky, night sky. Sky, night sky. That's it for sky colors. I'm not going to mix those hills. That'd be a waste of time. They're pretty tiny. We'll just grab something on the palette when we get to that. And I'm going to clean that off all the way. You notice I clean my palette up constantly as I work. Now that may not work for you. Some people like to be a bit more messy. That's all good. Don't really, whatever works for you. For me, right now I like to make sure that my dark, this is what I'm going to mix it next, is not contaminated by the light colors from the sky. Yeah, for the dark I want a pretty clean dark. I'm going to go with the ivory black and a bit of burn umber. Feeling like a little perylene. These are subtle things, but that's just gonna, yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. It's pretty much just gonna look like black anyway, but the burn umber will help the drying time a little bit, and it's good to cut the coolness of that ivory black. It's extremely cool. To the point, well, I've got a lot of warm stuff up underneath, so I'm not gonna lose sleep worrying about it. But all right, so we're looking at these colors. All the greens are very reddish here. I'm almost inclined to have an approach like this. So often I mix these two together. What do we got? Wow, nice. Now that's got a lot of transparency and it's going to need to be woke up. I don't want to wake it up with the cat though, because it's very strong. We're waking it up with the small amount of opacity that is in the yellow ochre. I don't like too much chalkiness in my dark, big green. Wow, that's really nice. I like that. Let's do some more of this. Is that still green? No. It'll be perceived as green. And you can see the colors we're going after here. Yeah, so this is Tuesday, 10th of September. 10 o'clock in the morning here. We're going to do some color mixing. We're going to go have lunch. We'll come back and we'll do this painting in the afternoon. That is the plan. And then tomorrow I will be here. You won't know. Because I'm going to start cleaning my garage. Okay? Well, I've already started 3 or 4 months ago, but we're going to get back into it now that the warmer weather's here. I'm not mixing that watercolor, just so you know. We got it covered. We'll do something not as blown out as what's there, but I didn't bother with it. make those decisions when the time is right. So the green is a goldy green. I'm doing some color mixes I don't usually do today. It's a little on the chalky side, but it won't be much work to pretty that up a little. We don't have any grass, so if I have grass in the image, I would probably reserve that permanent green light for that. Oh, that's a nice green. I like that. Let's just go with it as is. I think it should be redder, but it's a nice green. It's good. And mostly I want to get into these hey, you notice there ain't no chair squeaking. Now, I was hoping when you was going to buy me a new chair, but I guess you guys are a little hard up for cash. It's okay. I brought a chair from my home office. It doesn't squeak. So all you have to do is listen to me sneeze and sniffle and things like that. Okay, now that mustardy, way more in the yellows. So I'm going to use this as a foundation for that. And then I'm going to go into the yellow. Mix these two together. And that would blow it up, but a little bit of this. And then for it to fall right in, maybe a little of this too. Okay, I think to fall right in now. Wow, that added more pop than I'm not far off. Let's just knock it back with a little bit of the raw umber. That's why it's there. Perfect. Look at that. That's nice. Now it could go greener, but I want a little bit of a spread. I could go greener, but I'm holding off. My acknowledgement towards that greenerness was by putting in the cad yellow. Okay, let's get into this is almost every color I've got to pre-mix. We'll do something for that path. Now the path in our reference is a bit more reddish and clay-like than I like. And I think it should be. I'm going to start with some of this. Some of this, and that'll be kind of clayish, right? Now we're going to earth it up with some of that. Still a little bit of red, but very easy to counteract that red quality with the sort of hidden green qualities in the yellow wilkia. I still want to go further with that effect. This is, oh, actually I wanted to de-redify it, and I just added there's red, there's a latent redness in the burnt umber. So we just had some light screen, and here we are, we're neutralized. That is dark path color. For the light path color, more yellowish, but not a straight up yellow. Still pretty neutral. I think I'll hit that pretty good. I like that. Maybe a little tap of the yellow wilkia. Okay, that's our pre-mixing, and we're going to go to lunch. We're going to come back. We're going to make a painting happen. Should take us about 2 hours or so, I imagine. So that'll be good. Hopefully you'll follow along. And well, this is going to be publicly available for a couple of weeks, and then it goes into the members area only. But in the members area is the 4K version, and which comes out way before a week before the one that I troll out to the public. And that public one will be public for a while, and then it's basically I'm more interested in pointing people to the members area for, you know, $6, you're getting pretty comprehensive, if you like the way I paint, pretty comprehensive education in that regard. Of course, you could always, you know, add the book to that, other things, but there's plenty, just in the members area, just follow along. Yeah. Okay, there we go, that looks nice. We'll see you soon, we'll be back. Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, like that. It's a little on the brown side. Let's. That's nice. This definitely one of the more challenging. You gotta kind of creep up on it, how these bits of foliage come in. Not much paint in there. In here, it's going to be lighter, but I'm going to just start the process now. Okay, that wasn't even the color I mixed. It's a much grayer version, and darker. But you kind of want to creep up on these things. You can't necessarily make a successful passage in your painting sometimes just working, straight up. Like here, we've had to do it in a couple different steps, and I think that's nice. Got some patterns and stuff, but that's like that last move I just did was just, I'm going to need some areas where there's not that much movement, little brush strokes and things. I'm liking that. And may as well just, I'm not going to get super inventive. We're going to have a reflection, just decided, of the, because it's like a lake or something. It's not the ocean. And in a case like that, it would be brighter right by the... Now we're going to come in with our We may as well take this time. I know I'm going to need more yellow, okay? Looks like everything's recording okay, which is good. What I hate is when I'm painting away and I look up at the palette can, it's not doing its thing. Yeah, a little more of that yellow. It's just going to get it's a little prettier. That's nice. Sometimes you can do a lot of horizontal strokes in your sky. I don't think this would be a good idea here. Pretty happy with that. It's better to have it fresh, not overworked. Clean this up a little bit. Okay, we're going to throw in our path. It's not too far to go. Yeah, I had a lot of light color in the brush, so you can see the reference, it's a bit different. And I'd say it pass a little bit on one side, a little bit on the other. Don't get too whatever. Certainly, you don't want to get too tight. I like the bottom bit of the path to be a little darker. Let's see what we're headed for. Okay, that's our dark path. Here's our light path. This will be the new darker tone for that bit. I don't want it to be super light, not as light as water. Path that path in there, I've had this reference for with that path is something that the Photoshop came up with, and it's just okay. But what it is, because it basically cut through a bunch of nothing, and It's going to add up to better painting. I can tell this is going to be quite a little strokey painting. That's okay. It's how it wants to be, and that's okay. We're going to indulge it. Yeah, okay. Because the past this color of the sky, we can't have the water the same color, so put a little bit of blue in there. Yeah, I think that's looking alright. A little bit of black. That's nice. It's working good. It's neutral. Put a couple more streaks through it. Nice. Okay. A few more sky holes over here. Way less than the reference, though, I must say. That went darker. Way to go. I mean lighter. That's too light. Like that. Sky's done. Water's done. I don't know if the path is done. I don't think it is. Now, oh, let's clean this palette up. This paint is going nice and relatively quick. Here's the thing. Once you've, pay attention here, once you've decided that you're not going to be able to perfectly interpret the reference. And you've established some patterns that you like, and you decided that you're just going to reinforce those patterns, and you're going to do it under painting, and then you're going to set up some colors, and then you're going to do the sky, and then the darks, and then the middles, and then the lights, and then you're done. That's hopefully what you're getting from Uncle Mike here, you know, because that's not like I'm going to walk away going, "Ooh, I'm so satisfied." A lot of times I'll think, that's okay, pretty good. But more often the case is because I didn't overwork it. When I come in the next day, I go, yeah, it looks okay. Or when I'm reviewing the footage at night later, I go, yeah, okay, good call, Mike. You didn't overdo it. You didn't go too far. Because you think, I've talked about this a lot. So many things in life, you work harder, you get better results. But in painting, you got to work hard. Mostly working hard entails showing up and doing it all the time. In the actual thing here, it's like you've got the level of consciousness that you're exhibiting. That's not going to change much. I'm just going to bring in some of these bits now while I'm thinking about it. Not that I'm trying to touch up everything all the time, but a lot of times if you do notice something, it's probably good to get in, fix it when you notice it. Way better than, say, when you're hanging it up on the gallery wall. Now, we don't need things to be perfect and tight. Okay, now, pretty exciting part. Now, I'm going to shrink down my reference a bit. And really, the only strong bits in the reference, it's like I've decided these are going darker than the reference. It's these trees and some other shadows, but clearly, you can see them from my underpainting that I've got other plans. I like a smaller brush. This is a 0. Silver Grand Prix. Very good brush. These just get better as you paint. Most brushes actually do if you clean them properly. Let's try that. Now I can either leave some of these things, or I think that's what I've decided I'm going to do here. Or you could just paint the whole thing solid and put those marks on again. But I really appreciate those of you that leave me comments and stuff. I understand the people that don't. I'm not a huge comment guy, although I have to say there's a channel, I'm an INFJ, there's an INFJ channel. I give that guy plenty of comments because it helps his channel and he's good. So. don't know what that sound is, folks. The bell sound, don't know. Sometimes I'll change up the pressure just to lean back on a little less dark. I can get less dark because I'm basically darkening the dark that I put in before. That's nice. Oh, I see. It's a trailer. Nice. A little thinner here. A little dark, but it doesn't need to be super dark. Not as dark as those trees. You see I'm getting that, just more oil. Quite handy that the painting itself, the underpainting is dry right now, so. I'll put that back there. I think it's good. It's good for you. I mean, I don't have a set way in time that I'll add the oil to something, but usually it's I want more movement. I get a feeling. I generally have a feeling about how much paint's in the brush. I know. Some. So quiet without that chair creaking. Of course, you're going to have the background music going, and I think it sounds way better than when I have it in the environment, just to have a little quiet. I haven't had a complaint for a while on that. The music too loud. Okay, so littler brush for that kind of thing, and we will probably come with some more darks, but we've added quite a lot to really reinforce things. And this is kind of that staging thing I like to do, the dark into the light, you know. Okay, but it's going to serve us, I think, to have a little bigger brush. Maybe not. I'm rethinking that. It's not a very big painting. I think I'm going to go down to a 2. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm going to go with this instead. Slightly smaller. Not that one. I might regret this, but we're going to do the filbert. You see, it's not super green. Nice job. Like this to come out of the, not too much up there. I'm closing that up. I don't want super dark up there. It's nice. And a little bit more right. So here's a tip, you know, don't keep painting over things you already painted. Well, what a great tip. Okay, I don't have it mixed here, but I'm really going to try this. I'm really just going to amp up some reds. And I went with the Mars Violet because it's very strong. I can modify it a bit. There we go. The scent is almost like bringing in some of that board color back. In the sense, I say, because it's not quite as tony as that board color. And because it's got that opacity, it just gives me the ability to lay down a stroke and it'll pretty much be set where it is. I was contemplating the burnt sienna, but I went with the Mars Violet because, again, I knew I could just pop it down and it's going to make that mark and it's going to sit there and not fight because it's opaque. love using a side of it. No, like that. That's good. It's kind of working with the green together. Everything's going to work together to make our scene. Okay, both cameras are going, that's nice. Next green. Now that's quite subdued, but it really does read as green. Yeah, very nice. A lot of red in it. But that little, you're looking at the reference, it's kind of dusky. Whoa. Okay, we're gonna have to go a little darker there. Too soon for that. Too big a spread too soon. It's not good. A little darker there, leaning into the burn number. I didn't do much, did it? I'm gonna just have to go into black to get that happen. Maybe some of this, there we go. Doesn't that matter? I don't want that the same color. I do a lot of that. Now there's still paint in the brush, but if there gets to be too much of a buildup there, you can really work against it, and you're wondering why you're not able to get good results. So back into this here now. We're actually going to go way lighter in some of these spots, so. we picked up some white there. Yeah, I need that. Not sure why I didn't do it before, but I need it. Beginning of a process there. I'm doing alright. Alright, it's time to stock in some of that super gold. Not to say we're going to go back to the greens, but I want to get it in there. You've seen it in the reference. The bright gold that's back there. It's really one of the things making this nice. I think I will add a little bit of my mix in. And a little of that just to knock it back. Go like that. You see, if we liked it, why you start all over again? Because I thought maybe it could be a little better, a little more color. Inside the brush, but that's okay, that'll work. Take off my glasses for a minute.
I hope I never will.
Nice. It's gonna go brighter, but good to have some of this underneath, I think. And our underpainting color and board color are totally supporting us because we don't have to. don't have to actually go in. And cover all of it.
Time is like a railroad track. The world is a train running along on track.
I'm gonna want some real lighter, punchier greens in there. I'm doing a lot of the heavy lifting with this color. Change it up a little bit, a little more red.
Time is like a railroad track. The world is a train running along that track.
I have to say this one's nearly painting itself with that underpainting done, which is what you want.
Time is like a railroad track. The world is a train running along that track.
More red, a lot more red. I'm gonna have to wipe it off. And when he says red, in this case, he means mostly burnt sienna, but look how he can reinforce it with that mixing red. It gets super. Now, in the past, I probably would have done that with a ton. I tried to pull it off with a tiny amount of. Okay, it's missing some opacity, so let's go bring in the orange. I don't get too crazy. Pretty happy with that. We'll just leave it there. Yeah, we're gonna need to go a bit further, but let's do these distant. Hills. I know that doesn't look like anything in the painting, but we'll get it there. We'll get it there. I just wanted to get a little flavor of the purple in now. Touch of blue. It's pretty subtle. kind of, probably this color on its own would be alright. So it's not light enough. Nothing. Not bad. Yeah, we're doing it. We're good, Ned. Okay. Tricky. I got an idea for how I'm going to make that work. I'll be honest with you, a lot of times messing with these reflection things in the back, it ain't worth it. But we're gonna try. Sometimes you can tell a story just like this. See. Bad. Yeah, why not? And I do think that works okay. It's a little staccato looking, but yeah, I think that's working fine. Tells the story. We're following the path. There it is. We have to have a little contrast there. That's too bright. That's distracting. Good enough. I don't want to get in the weeds back there. It's fine. Okay. Glasses on. So popping in some more oil. Starting with cleaning up some of this here. Everything's recording, which is nice. That brush has been contaminated with a bunch of white. So we're going to do a quick rinse. That's a quickie. Yeah, let's pop in some of these nicer greens. This actually, I don't think we even use this straight up. Let's see what that looks like on its own to start. Okay. Alright, time to cook it on up. Alright, we may come back in with the greens, but we're going to go with this. Pretty much is mixed, and you can see how far back we knocked it. Some back here. Nice. It's making it. Well, Miss Penny, I was wrong about one thing. It didn't turn out as strokey as I thought. It is a strokey painting, but it's not going too far. I could do some greens. We're not far from done. I feel like I want more. It's not really in the reference, but I feel like I want some more pop in oranges, so. More red in there, more red sienna. couple more things I want to address. Yeah, regular, like everyday green. More green. Apparently that was all pretty much just underpainting color there, which is fine. That was a bit. Address That's not bad. Not bad effect. Yes, the path is a little noisy and it probably should be more tan. I'm going to try what's called a wet glaze. It usually doesn't work. That worked well enough. Just finish it off. Well, I'm pretty happy with this painting. It went nice and quick. That's what we want. Well, we want them to go as long as they need to go. With it. And usually, I think I already said in this painting today, longer. It would be great if longer added up to better, but it usually doesn't. Just adds up. Actually, usually adds up to worse because you lost the fresh statement you had. Now, you're stuck with your overworked painting. At least you would have had a fresh statement if you left it alone. Debating doing that. I think I'll be alright. I don't like little precious things like that, but I want it to soften it a bit. Sometimes where the strokes, these little bunchy up bits. Press a lot on. Just notice with you on the camera now, because it's a way of blending. That is less destructive than having a brush in your hand. The brush will, blend, but it will also create other problems and issues. Like that. When you find yourself hunting to do something, don't do nothing. You might want to add just one or two little things here. Okay.